Okay, guys, welcome back, and let's now return to discussing what we had discussed. Now was the words that Napoleon is going to exchange and Mr. Pilkington is going to exchange. So, number one, we're going to see here that he discussed again how he reminded, okay, acting as a reminder of how all the negative circumstances that occurred and all the misunderstandings that happened previously between Animal Farm and the human neighbors. Okay, unfortunate incidents had occurred. Maybe he's referring to the Battle of the Windmill, all right, where they actually battled them. Mistaken ideas. Okay, remember a lot of rumors that came about upon Animal Farm that they practiced cannibalism or that they were bankrupt or so on. So basically, a lot of negativity had been there. It had been felt that the existence of a farm owned and operated by pigs was somehow abnormal and was liable to have an unsettling effect in the neighborhood. All right, so here he is admitting that they never thought that a farm could possibly be operated by pigs. All right, so the idea was just to them, weird. All right, too many farmers had assumed without due inquiry that on such a farm a spirit of license and indiscipline would prevail. They had been nervous about the effects upon their own animals or even upon their human employees. But all such doubts were now dispelled. So here he's admitting that previously we worried that a farm operated by animals could have a negative effect on our farm because again it could affect our own animals. All right, because it could push them to the idea of rebellion as well. All right, so he's admitting that he was nervous, or the human farms were nervous to have such a farm led by animals come and play. All right, so now today we are friends and we visit Animal Farm, okay, and we inspected every inch of it with our own eyes. And what did we find? Okay, we found the most up to date methods. All right, remember technology. One windmill for milling corn. We saw that they have a threshing machine, a hay elevator. All right, so the we saw that here. So Pilkington here is admitting that all the worries that the humans had are now gone. All right, they're no longer feeling that a farm ran by pigs is unsettling. They're no longer worried that the idea of a farm ran by pigs could cause trouble to their animals, or it could cause issues. They are now seeing that the farm is indeed one of the best because number one, they have the most up-to-date methods, uh, and he makes comment about the animals. The animals are very disciplined. All right, discipline means under control and very in order. Okay, which should be an example of all farmers everywhere. All right, so here he's basically congratulating Napoleon on how impressively he is operating his farm. Number one, on his up to date methods of farming, all right, his technological improvements, all right, and for disciplining and having his animals work in such a disciplined and ordered fashion. And that Napoleon is basically setting a positive example that should be followed by all farmers. He believed that he was right in saying that the lower animals on Animal Farm did more work and received less food than any animals in the county. Okay, so here he's saying, or he is again honoring Animal Farm on basically making their animals work very hard for very little food. Okay, so here again, the humans, we can see that they have different goals. All right, this was not the goal of animalism. We were supposed to be treated equally. All right, no one should eat less or more. We should be all equal. Now, the humans are basically telling Napoleon, "Good job for being unfair to his animals. All right, for giving them very little food, even though they work very very hard." All right. Indeed, he and his fellow visitors today had observed many features which they intend to introduce in their own farms immediately. So here we see that Pilkington is basically saying that he saw things in Animal Farm that he's going to start doing in his own farm to learn from Napoleon. All right. He would end his remark, or he ended his speech by again showing the friendly feelings that now exist between Animal Farm and their neighbors, between the pigs and the humans, that they're now friends, all right, and that basically that they should not have any clash of interest anymore, all right, that their interests are one, okay, their struggles and their differences were one. So here we see unity, all right. Remember, Karl Marx or Old Major had said, do not do not think that you and the humans could have any equal interests whatsoever. Now here, Mr. Pillington is saying otherwise. Okay, he's saying, guys, today we are, celebrating that we are equal and that we do not have any differences anymore. Our struggles and our differences or difficulties are one. Okay, we are basically the same. All right. Again, here was not the labor problem. Okay. All right. So Mr. Pillington was about to spring some carefully prepared witticism on the company, but before a moment he was to overcome by amusement to be able to utter it after much choking, during which his various chins turned purple. He said, "If you have your lower animals to contend with, we have our lower class." All right, so here basically he's comparing the poor animals that are working in Animal Farm to the poor people that are slaving in factories and in on farms and so on. Okay, Mr. Pilkington once again congratulated the pigs on the low rations. Okay, giving the animals low food, on the long working hours. All right, and the general absence of pampering. Okay, pampering means when you pamper a baby, you treat them with kindness and care. All right, so basically, there's no pampering the animals, which he had observed on Animal Farm. So he is telling the pigs basically, good job for giving your animals low amounts of food, low rations, making them work for long hours and giving them very hard work, disciplining them, okay, and not pampering them, and on your up to date methods. All right, he emphasized the idea of equality between humans and pigs, that their struggles and difficulties are one, that there's no clash of interest between them whatsoever. And now that they're starting a new page with friendly feelings, and that all the differences and all the previous or old hostility or criticism or anything negative that happened in the past is now gone and over with. All right, now we're starting a new thing, and at the end of the day, your poor animals are just equal to our lower class humans. All right, and this is the highlight that we need to know for this question. Okay, so again, if we have this question, we're going to summarize Mr. Pilkington's message. That would be it. Okay, can someone again summarize Mr. Pilkington's message for me? What was it in a nutshell? What would you say here, Nano? Go ahead, hon.
Humans and animals have common interests,
Perfect. Humans and animals have common interests. We are dealing our struggles and difficulties are the same. What else?
and that he's happy that they're in agreement, they're in friendly relationship, yani.
Exactly. The ending of a hostile or a period of disagreement or so and so on is now gone. They're starting a new page of friendliness. Good. What else?
um
What did he congratulate Napoleon on?
مش عارفة.
On his discipline. Remember? On how
uh
disciplined he is
People
with
are
his.
under control.
Exactly. He's keeping his animals under control by what? By making them work very hard and for a very long number of hours for very little or small amounts of food. Okay. And basically, he's showing discipline and without any pampering. Okay. And he also congratulated him on his high technology or up to date methods of farming. And that Napoleon is basically setting a great example for farmers all over, and that he himself will start to implement some of these habits into his own farm. Okay, and that whatever is happening in Animal Farm now is not any threat to the human farms, whether it is to their animals or so on. Okay, this is in a nutshell Mr. Pilkington's message. Great job, Yanema. All right, now if we continue, we're going to also look at Napoleon. All right, Napoleon says, I need to also give. All right, so Mr. Pilkington says, to the prosperity of Animal Farm, this is how he ends it. Please remember that. To the prosperity of Animal Farm, this is how he ended his toast. All right, so when he gave his toast, Mr. Pilkington said, to the prosperity of animal farm. This was Mr. Pilkington. Now Napoleon is gonna start to give his own speech, all right, and he again he restates some things that he's happy again with the period of that he's happy that this period of misunderstanding is now coming to an end, all right. That he has heard many rumors circulated about Animal Farm, all right, and of course now they're done, all right. He had been credited with attempting to stir up rebellion among the animals on neighboring farms. Nothing could be further from the truth. So he is now saying that he never wanted to stir rebellion among the animals on neighboring farms. Now, this is definitely not true because remember, what was he sending? They were sending pigeons. Please don't forget that. All right, they were sending pigeons to neighboring farms to teach the animals the anthem of Beast of England. The purpose of that was to teach the animals the idea of rebellion. All right, so here he is denying that he never had intended, all right, on teaching the other animals on neighboring farms to stir up rebellion. This is not the truth, all right? Their sole wish now and in the past was to live at peace and in normal business relations with their neighbors. So he's saying that their wish or their goal is to live at peace with humans, all right, that we want to live at peace with humans. This is our goal, all right. This is our goal in the past and now, all right. This farm which he had to the honor to control, he added, was cooperative enterprise, all right. That means joint, owned by the pigs jointly, okay. So the pigs own it, okay. He's now basically denying any uh, uh, um, any possession of the other animals. The other animals are basically eliminated. He did not believe, he said, that any of the old suspicions still lingered. All right, so basically here that now they have complete confidence into one another. All right, here Napoleon is going to make a new rules. All right, to kind of like reassure the animals. I mean, to reassure the humans that things on the farm are good. You guys need to remember them very much. All right, hitherto means from now on forward, okay, the animals on the farm, they're not going to address each other as comrades. We used to foolishly call each other comrades. Now this is to be suppressed, restrained, held back. No more. Okay, we're no longer going to call each other comrades. All right, this is the first declaration that he makes. All right. He says that every Sunday we used to march, okay, marching every Sunday past a boar's skull. Who is that boar's skull? Do you guys remember who did it belong to? Who's that boar's skull that they used to
Old man.
pass on? Old
Old
Major.
Major?
Good, great, all right, which was nailed to a post in the garden. This too would be suppressed. All right, they had buried the skull already. All right, so basically burying the skull of Old Major, all right, burying the skull of Karl Marx is basically burying or equivalent or symbolic to burying the idea of communism. All right, the idea of communism is ending, no more. All right. His visitors might have observed that there was a green flag, all right, which flew. If you guys remember the green flag that they drew the hoof and the horn on. All right. Now it is also now the hoof and the horn are removed. Okay, it will now on just be a plain green flag. All right, because the hoof and the horn symbolize the unity of animals. All right, now it's just going to be a plain green flag from now onwards. All right. He also said that you called us Animal Farm in your speech. However, I would like to make the declaration that Animal Farm is no longer Animal Farm. We're going to bring it back to the name of the Manor Farm, which was the name originated by Mr. Jones. So this is the idea of, you guys remember how Russia was turned into the Soviet Union when the communists took over, all right, or the idea of communism. Now they're bringing again from the Soviet Union back to Russia. All right, so again, it is the same idea of, again here, ending the idea of communism or animalism in the farm. So Napoleon's speech is very, very important. All right, first he addresses his number one, that he's happy that this period of misunderstanding has ended. He mentions that he never intended on stirring up ideas of rebellion between the animals of his neighboring farm, which is not true, if you guys remember, with the pigeons and so on. Number two, he mentioned that his goal, or his, the animal farm, as pigs, their goal is to live peacefully with their human neighbors. All right, and that this farm is owned jointly by pigs only. Okay, there's no more addressing each other by the name of comrades on the farm. There's no more. The flag is going to be just a plain green flag. The white hoof and the horn are going to be removed from it. And Animal Farm is no longer Animal Farm. It will be called by its original name, which is the Manor Farm. All right. I will give you the same toast as before, but in a different form. Okay. Remember how Pillington said, to the prosperity of Animal Farm. Of course, Napoleon here is not going to use Animal Farm. He's going to say to the prosperity of the Manor Farm. All right, because he doesn't believe in the Soviet Union. He doesn't believe in it. He wants to return back to the old dictatorship under Tsar Nicholas II, as we saw in the beginning of Mr. Jones's era. All right. Again, here they were cheering and the mugs were emptied, meaning that they were drinking together. And of course, here, what was it? All right, now Clover's eyes dim. All right, they look at each other. All right, some of them had five chins, some had four, some had three. But what was it that seemed to be melting and changing? Then, of course, here at the end, here is basically saying that he continued to look at them. The more the animals continued to look at these pigs and these humans, uh, um, you know, the animals just, crept away and, left in silence. By that had not gone 20 yards, an uproar of voices was coming from the farmhouse. They rushed back and looked through the window, and there was a violent quarrel or fight between Mr. Pillington and Napoleon. All right, and because they accused each other on cheating in the game of cards. All right, so they just made peace and they just had drank this toast and everything was going on. And then the animals here, um, lots of screaming and shouting. And it turns out that Mr. Pillington and Napoleon got into a disagreement over the accused of cheating during this card game. All right, so here they're saying that 12 voices were shouting in anger and they were all alike. Okay, again, all alike. The ideas of pigs and humans are becoming one. Now, the question now was, what happened to the faces of the pigs? The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again. But already it was impossible to tell or say which was which. Okay, so here the ending is very significant from George Orwell. He is trying to show that the animals living on the farm were unable to. They looked at the humans and they looked at the pigs, they looked at the humans and they looked at the pigs, and they were unable to tell who was the pig and who was the human. All right, again, to show what, guys, it's very important if you look here, to show the quote means, this is the last quote, to show how closely followed all the humans' behavior, to show how the pigs closely followed the human behavior. They have become indistinguishable from humans. Okay, they might call themselves pigs, but they no longer act like pigs. Okay, all the dreams of equality and the building of a better and an improved society is now erased. Mr. Jones might as well not have ever been overthrown. Okay, because again, his ideas are all back. Okay, and this is basically to sum up that communism was betrayed by Stalin, all right, or under Stalin or under Napoleon's supervision. Okay, the idea of communism was never really developed or never really put into action. It was betrayed by Napoleon and Stalin, all right, because they practiced a dictatorship rather than the idea of equality among their comrades. Okay, and of course, here we see that the big theme is that this is acts as a warning for society, which is very important, guys. Here, it's basically do not give up on power, okay? Because if you do, gradually the rulers will repeat and the excess of the past will return, okay? So this is basically, and we're going to discuss themes again in another session, all right? So now that this is the ending of Animal Farm, and I suggest that you read chapter 10 again, okay, on your own, very diligently, okay, and go over the notes very well because chapter 10 is one of the most important ones. Okay, this is the chapter 10 review. All right, animal farm has developed significantly, acquiring some technology. All right, what were they? All right, on the farm, there's a clear division of work. All right, what kind of work do the pigs and other animals do? Okay, the pigs, we said here, they do reports, memos. Okay, we also saw another word, uh, reports, memos, and what else? Anyone remember? All right, and let's see about the work of the other animals on the farm. You need to know that. Okay. Again, here they practice the art of working on two legs. What did the sheep were taught to say? All right. What were the pigs holding in their trotters, and what does it resemble or symbolic? Okay. Again, at their masters. Okay. The whip here is pain and torture. All right. The person holding the pain, the whip is symbolic for someone who's in control, someone who is dominating. Okay. The idea of dominance or symbolic for dominance. And of course, we see that what happens to the seven commandments, they were all erased. Okay, they were all vanished from the wall, and there was only one commandment left, which was all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Okay, which that some, they're the pigs. Okay, and then finally, this very important question. Then we talk about the game card. All right, and they basically is showing that again, it becomes evident that that first they're as long as even though they're trying to make peace, that this peace is not going to continue. And why? Because these are countries. Remember, Frederick and Pilkington, they resemble Germany and I believe the UK or so on. And even though Russia tried to make peace with them, they end up fighting again in other wars. Okay, so the cheating in the game at the end shows that even though Russia tries to make peace with Germany, Hitler, during that time, by the way, okay, and we're familiar with Hitler, they still end up going into wars, okay, which is this cheating in the game. All right, so peace was never really established between them because we see that they face each other in future wars and so on. This is the resemblance of the cheating in the game. Okay, so it's an important study guide to focus on. All right, where we will look at chapter 10 again together. Do not worry. All right. Now, for the time being, I wanted you guys to look at commas. We were scheduled to work on them, and I want you to look here at this page, which is on page let's see, 228 in your book. This is a conventional usage of commas, but we're going to look at the entire paragraph, okay? Because you'll see that you need to put commas everywhere. So this, if we didn't finish it today, is going to be for homework, page 228, 229, and also page 230, okay? Comma review A and comma review B. All right, the rules, again, as we stated, there were plenty of them. Remember the letter ones and so on. Let's answer some of these together until our session is over. All right, so any volunteers to look here with me? This is the beginning. We have 18 Warren Street. There's nothing here. Let's see, Nano, give me the first comma here. Where do you put the first comma?
Mm,
It says Charlottesville, VA, which is Virginia. And then we have the zip code. Where's the first
e-
comma?
before Virginia?
Right, correct. Okay, we need to insert a comma right here. All right, this is too thick. All right, all right, we need to insert a comma right here. All right, between Charlottesville and Virginia. Okay, good, because we need to separate between the city and the state. Your book should be open, please, and we should be answering this together with us, okay? All right, next one, Hannah Durham, January 29th, 2009. Where do you put your comma, Hannah Durham? Tell me.
After 29,
After the 29th, bravo. Okay, dear Angela, this is called the, who could tell me which part of this, what is it called? Yusuf.
Now, miss, I know where should we insert the comma, but I
All right,
didn't notice the
okay,
name.
I'm gonna come back to you. Usama, what is that called? Dear Angela, what do we call it?
A greeting, I think.
Right, the greeting or the salutation. Okay, we're gonna see the word salutation in the book. This is what we need to remember. Also, greeting is acceptable. Okay, Yusuf, where do we put it?
After Angela?
After Angela. Bravo. Okay, let's look at the first sentence. I was delighted to read your last letter, and I am happy to know that you are doing well. All right. So here, the first comma here is already inserted for us. All right, which is here, which is good. Things are going well here in good old Charlottesville, Virginia, and I miss you. All right. So this first sentence, we don't see a problem with it. And the second sentence, what do we see? All right, Hannah Hamdi, please.
We're gonna put a comma after Charlottesville.
Great. And where else?
And after Virginia.
Good. Perfect. What else? Because here we have a compound sentence. And I miss you. I miss you is an independent clause. All right. Things are going well here in good old Charlottesville, Virginia is also an independent clause. There's one more comma that we need to insert
After good.
after good. Why so? Because again, we have two.
Adjectives.
Right, that's correct. We have two adjectives. And when we have two adjectives, that means we have to pretty much, that means we have to insert between those two adjectives the comma. Okay? Alrighty. So let's continue. All right, last month on Friday, December 16th, our class went to the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. All right, who could answer the sentence for us? Okay, Judy.
Okay. The Friday, December 16th.
Okay,
After Friday, comma.
after Friday, we have to put a comma, bravo. All right, remember the day and the month, you have to separate them. So last month on, okay, so again, we there's one more. Where should we put the other one?
After month.
After month, correct. All right. All right, after month. Okay, last month on Friday, December 16th, our class went to the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Where's my next one?
Okay. 1 minute. So after we.
You're missing one. You're going to the next sentence. Stay on this sentence.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. That's correct.
It's,
Who said that? Right, in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., where should we put the comma?
Washington. بعد كده after Washington. ولا لا no
I
sorry
can't
that's
hear you.
not a period. I thought that was a period. DC after DC.
Okay, great. All right, so we need to put a comma after Washington and DC. Thank you. Thanks, Judy. All right, Reem. All right, on the way, we stopped in Manassas, Virginia for a snack and a stretch break.
After Manassas, comma.
I'm sorry, say that again.
After Manassas, comma. Before Virginia.
Good, between, correct. Okay, so we need to put a comma between Manassas and Virginia. What else?
After way.
After way, bravo. And when we said, what do we have to separate my city and state from the rest of the sentence? With a?
Yes.
With a? With a comma. So after Virginia, we need to also place a?
Comma.
Exactly. Did you say that already? I'm sorry, Reem, if I didn't hear you.
It's okay.
Okay, great. All right, so let's hear. 1 second. All right, so for a snack and a stretch break. Thanks, Reem. All right, next one. Let's hear from Adam. At the museum, comma, we saw an exhibit on the history of flight, and I learned about the first member of the Caterpillar Club, Harold Harris. Anything here, Adam, that you would change or you would add?
No,
You just have to add one.
no,
Yeah, you have to add one.
no.
Okay, wait. Oh,
Caterpillar
it's already.
Club.
Yes. Oh, they already have here at the museum. Okay, so yes. Okay, yes, you're right. Perfect. But Adam, let's look at the next one. He bailed out of a plane at McCook Field, Dayton, Ohio, and became the first member of a club that is made up of people saved by a parachute. Where would you insert commas in this sentence?
After Dayton.
All right, 1 second. All right, so there are three locations. He bailed out of a plane at number one, McCook Field, Dayton, McCook Field, Dayton, Ohio.
After McCook and after Field and after Dayton.
McCook Field, comma, okay, and Dayton, Ohio, comma, and became the first member. Okay, so continue here. Tell me. Continue and became the first member. All right, here that is made up. Okay, that's it. All right, let's look at the next one. The exhibit was also interesting. All right, this is the ending of that. So here we're good. Let's continue the next sentence. I remember you asked me for Mrs. DeLillo's address. Nothing here. So let's move on to the next one. She is at Sunnybrook Nursing Home, Greystone Road, Blacksburg, Virginia 24060. So here we need to add commas. All right, so we're gonna have to add commas here. All right, so we're here. I remember you asked. All right, we're actually right in this sentence. Who could tell me what we need to add here? Ali?
Sunnybrook Nursing Home, comma.
Okay.
Greystone Road, comma.
All right, 1 second. You said after. All right, so we said that you would put after home. All right, and after, which one again?
Greystone Road.
All right, Greystone Road, comma. All right,
And after Blacksburg.
and after, okay, this is a comma, not a semicolon. All right, and after Blacksburg, correct? Anything else? No.
No.
Good, thanks, Yani. All right, she went there sometime in November 2008. Okay, any commas here necessary? No, right? Because we do not put between the month and the year. We only between the day, like for example, if this was November 20th, 2008, then we put a comma between 20 and 2008. So here we do not need to put a comma. All right, I guess you know that she is scheduled for surgery on Tuesday, February 7th. All right, so here, uh, um, who could tell me? All right, how about Fadia? I guess you know that she is scheduled for surgery on Tuesday, February 7th. Where do we put the comma, Fadia? All right, what about Kinsey?
After Tuesday.
Great, yeah, Kinsey, after Tuesday. Thank you.
So isn't there should be a comma after November?
Where?
And
Here?
yes.
No, remember how we only said we insert a comma if your date looks like this. All right, so if your date looks like, if it was something like November 20, comma, 2008. You put the comma between the day and the year. If you do not have a day and it's just November 2008, you do not have a day, it's just a month and the year. We do not put a comma between the month and the year. This is wrong. Okay, this is definitely wrong. We don't do that. All right, you only insert the comma between the day, if you have a day, and the year. All right, in this example, Hannah, we do not have a day. It's just the month and the year. So we do not need to insert a comma. Okay, Hannah?
Okay,
All
thank you.
right, so yeah, you're welcome. So just remember this rule, all right, that we, okay, inserting a comma between the month and the year would be wrong, okay, wrong. All right, so here, the only one that we need to put, believe that was Kinsey that told me that we need to put a comma between Tuesday. Yeah, Kinsey, you said that, correct?
Yes, after Tuesday.
After Tuesday. All right. And then we also here, if we continue and we resume reading, okay, we say, it says here, I know she would be happy to hear from you. There's nothing wrong here. You could tell her about your vacation in Paris, France. Okay, you could tell her about your vacation in Paris, France. All right, who could tell me where do we need to put Nano? Give me the comma. You could tell her about your vacation in Paris, France. Where's the comma here?
After Paris?
After Paris, bravo. Okay. Her birthday is February 23, 1933. Hannah Hamdi. You could do this one.
February 23rd, 1933.
Yes, you see why we put a comma? Because we're putting it between the day and the year. All right. If it was only February 1933, would we put it? Would we put a comma if it was February 1933?
No.
No, exactly. All right. So let me save this um, uh, to upload it. Okay, as answers to this page. You guys should also be answering with me. Okay, I know she would. Okay, we finished this one. Her birthday is February 23rd, 1933. We did it. Did you know that she was born in Biloxi, Mississippi? All right, where do we put the comma? Usama?
After Biloxi.
Good. All right. I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, your friend Yoko. Okay, so where is my last comma? All right, how about Hannah Magdi? Your friend Yoko. This is the closing. Where do we put a comma?
After Hugo.
After?
Hugo.
Do we put the comma here? Is that correct? Okay.
No, after friend.
After friend. Perfect. Thank you so much, Hannah, for making that correction for us. Okay, guys, please, for homework, finish review A and review B. I'm going to post the answers and we're going to go over it together. If you have any questions about these, bring it tomorrow. All right, tomorrow we'll meet for more review, inshallah. And these videos will be uploaded if you need to refer back to them. Okay, thank you for today's participation and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day and study well. Take care, guys. Bye.